I'm chairman of Friends of the Global Fight Against AIDS, TB, and Malaria, and I've been engaged with PQMD for many years in various roles. I used to lead corporate philanthropy and corporate responsibility at Merck and Company, and after that, I was CEO of the Global Health Council. And those are the years in which I first began to work with PQMD. The panel that I'll be moderating has two really terrific speakers, Christina Shapiro from UNICEF USA, where she oversees efforts to use impact investing and the Bridge Fund to bring private capital into the work that UNICEF is doing to help kids around the world. And Jane Nelson, who's the director of the Corporate Responsibility Initiative at the Harvard Kennedy School. And Jane has spent 30 years working on issues around the private sector and sustainable development. So I'm really looking forward to the conversation with the two of them. And what we're going to talk about, just to provide a little bit of framing for the discussion, is that we all know we're living in turbulent, you might even say calamitous times. Unfortunately, disaster response and humanitarian assistance seem to be growth industries, which is the last thing we want. As a result, we need to find better ways to mobilize resources to help provide aid and care to people in need. We know that financial resources globally are declining, geopolitical tensions are increasing, so it looks like a pretty bleak picture. But that doesn't mean that we can't find ways to use new mechanisms that work. To actually bring together the kinds of partnerships that can help implement solutions and accelerate solutions to help provide better healthcare and to ensure the well-being of people around the world. What the forum offers and the discussion with Christina and Jane will enable us to do is to take a look at different ideas that have worked, things that we know have actually provided new resources through different innovative financial models. And we'll be able to ask questions about not just how do those models work in particular concrete instances, but what's needed to scale up those models. So we really want to, through the discussion, offer perspectives to PQMD members and their partners on ways to navigate the uncertainties that we're living in, to share ideas about what's working, and to think about how we can accelerate their implementation. So that's what I expect from the discussion. I think it'll be lively. Jane and Christina are really very, have tremendous experience at navigating these issues, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah.
Christina, before she was at UNICEF USA, was at Goldman Sachs, where she leads an initiative called the 10,000 Women Initiative. So she already has plenty of experience at mobilizing finance to help, in that case, women and others living in straitened circumstances. And at UNICEF, she's responsible for a variety of initiatives to bring impact investing to bear on the priorities of UNICEF. To help children around the world. So I think she'll have some really interesting perspectives from that kind of a financial background. Jane, as I said, has decades of experience at working on how to bring together partnerships with the private sector and other actors in sustainable development to help ensure that there are the resources and the models we need to really move from talk to action. And I think that's what I'm going to encourage both of them to do, is to give us examples of how to actually make these things happen. There are plenty of talking shops, there are plenty of ideas floating around. What we need are concrete examples of these principles in action, and then we need innovative ways to help scale them up so that more people can benefit from the kinds of partnerships and solutions that we'll be talking about. So that's what I hope we'll get out of the discussion. But I have no doubt that they'll have really interesting perspectives to bear. Well, I think what we hope the audience will be able to do is to contribute their own perspectives on how to accelerate and implement proven solutions. that's one of the most important things that PQMD's Global Health Policy Forum offers the people who will be there and who will share the information, through the web and other resources that PQMD makes available to bring more people into the conversation. It's that, you have people from the private sector, from government, from NGOs, who are out there on the front lines actually trying to find ways to make these new partnerships work. And so I hope that we'll be able to provoke some questions and comments from the audience about ways in which they're trying to meet that challenge. It's not the big question that we have to address is that, everybody talks about how there aren't enough resources to address the kinds of global health challenges that are out there. But I think that, one of the things that you could argue instead is that there is plenty of money in the world to solve our problems. The problem is that it's just allocated in different ways to different things, and it's not being brought to bear on the health challenges that people face, whether in conflict situations or just in lower and middle income countries where the level of resources isn't what we would like it to be. So the question for the audience and for Jane and Christina is, how can we shift that allocation? What can we do to encourage people to take the resources that are there and apply them in novel ways at scale to solve some of these problems? I always find these discussions stimulating and interesting, and because of the range of different interests that E.J. Ashbourne and Victoria Hammond and their colleagues bring together at the Global Health Policy Forum. So it gives us a chance to really to think about what policy wonks call super wicked problems, challenges that really seem to be completely intractable, but are susceptible of solution if you can get the right partners together and get them working together on a shared commitment to solve that problem. And so PQMD is sort of in a microcosm of how to create those kinds of solutions. And the Global Health Policy Forum is always a really stimulating opportunity to think about how to learn from people who've been doing this work on the front lines, an opportunity to share ideas and information about what works, and possibly to think about finding new partners to really put some of these ideas into action.